Hey everyone, this is Sin with Big Moon Energy. Today I am going to be showing you guys how I make a Venus herbal blend. Okay, so I will grind up my herbs and put it in a little jar, and this is what I will use inside some of my beeswax candles. Sprinkle the powder in. So, since this is just for Venus, the only correspondences I'm going to be needing are from Venus. This is almost kind of like as a offering candle to Venus, like something that I do every Friday would be using this. So, I'm not using this for any other purpose other than to honor Venus. So, I'm just doing the Venus correspondences. So, I've got some elderflower here. I've got my hibiscus flower petals. We've got some catnip. We've got this coltsfoot leaf. Some alfalfa. And then some feverfew. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. All right. I'm going to put this book up. I've already got all my stuff out. Now, before I start making an herbal blend, I'm going to sage all my stuff just because that's how I do it. All of my stuff that I have, and thank Spirit and bless all of my stuff. So, bless all of my utensils, Spirit, all of my herbs for my Venus blend. And I'll kind of set that over there. Okay, so how we'd get started is I would just pick one of your herbs and get to it. Something else about this is that a little bit does go a long way, but so that I don't have to make this every single week, I'd make quite a bit. Okay, so I would want to fill up this jar, and then I'd have this for a very, very long time. Okay, so I'd probably add more so than what I typically add in, say, an oil or anything like that. Okay, since I'm going to be grinding this up. Add my alfalfa. All right, gonna add my coltsfoot leaf. Now, some stuff, guys, is going to be harder to grind up. This colt's foot leaf, it is not going to grind completely into a powder. There is some stuff that is not going to fully grind up, but you need to get it like as in much of a powder form as you can. But not all of it will completely grind down into a fine powder, okay? So don't worry if there's still some chunks in there, okay? Added in my feverfew, however you want to say that. Gonna add in my hibiscus flower petals. Like I said before, I absolutely love hibiscus. So probably add in quite a little bit of that. All right. All right, and then last but not least, I'm going to add in some catnip. Adding quite a bit. Now, if this doesn't fill my jar up completely, that's fine. So I have several other mortar and pestles. This is just like straight up cast iron. All right. It works the best. Oh, I have this one, and it's super pretty, and I like to have it out in my kitchen just for kind of like looks because I like it. It does not work as well. And I have another one in the living room that has like ruins on it, and it is so pretty, but once again, it doesn't work as well. If you were looking to buy a mortar and pestle, I would definitely suggest getting something that's cast iron because it's so heavy, for one, and it really helps grind down the herbs. The other stuff does grind down the herbs, but it is a little bit, takes more arm power, just to get it done. So definitely would suggest using cast iron. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my herbs and I'm going to start grinding. I actually can't grind this with my dog in the house because she would have an absolute fit. Now, a lot of these herbs that I'm using aren't going to grind down perfectly for Venus, okay? And that's okay. I want to grind down what I can. And depending on what you've got, sometimes you have to, let me see the lighting a little bit. It's kind of where I'm at right now. Still going to have to grind these down quite a bit. And you basically just grind it until you're like good with it. This colt's leaf, it is like really hard to grind up. Like I said, you won't get a full powder out of that at all. So you're just going to grind as much as you can. And see, I am getting a powder on a lot of the other stuff. My hibiscus has really kind of come down quite a bit. It's mainly just that colt's leaf that is still kind of like moist almost. It's kind of like got a weird texture to it. All right, that's going to be good for me. Okay. It's kind of like looking like that. That's going to be good for me. So now what I'll do is I will actually grab a piece of paper. Okay. And I will fold it because this makes it a lot easier to pour into such a tiny bottle. Okay. So here's my bottle, my little jar. Once again, got this off Amazon. I'm actually going to set it in there because when stuff falls on the side, I can just put it back on my paper and I'm not wasting anything because I'm kind of messy. I don't know if I'll ever not be messy. I'm kind of a messy person when it comes to making stuff like this. So I still have a lot in there. Look at how much that's made already. So like this is going to be quite a bit, and like I said, a little sprinkle is really all it takes. So like this will last weeks and weeks and weeks, especially since this is just my, offering up for Venus. I'll put this in like some beeswax candles and stuff for whenever on Fridays, whenever I do my candles for my planetary candles. So this is just something a little extra to give it a little extra oomph, pretty much. So I'm going to have this bottle pretty much filled, which is exactly what I want because I don't want to have to do this every day. This is kind of like a lot of work for me. My kids are actually being really good right now. I can kind of hear Ryan getting a little bit hyper there in the background. He's playing with his big sister right now, and he's kind of very hyper, and he is very, very loud, but he's fine, I promise. All right, guys, so that's when I would call it good. Now, something else that I do after you're done, make sure you really clean all of your stuff, like your mortar and pestle, because if you're making other stuff, you don't want to mix the herbs. What I'm going to do here is I have these. I got these off Amazon as well, and I am going to just write what this is, which this is my Venus herb blend, and I am also going to write the date. I love to write the date on everything because then you just know when you made something, how old it is. Even stuff like herb mixes, just like to have the date. Peel that off. All right, and then you just put it on there. I usually cover this with tape. Like when the video is over, I don't have my tape with me right now. I will tape over this just to make sure that it really stays. But then there you have it. And I will put this stuff with my other herb stuff. And this is just a quick grab so that I'm not having to like rush around and grab all of this stuff. And also there are lots and lots of correspondences for Venus. You 100% do not have to use the ones that I use. these were the things that I had on hand today. So I'll go back through them. This is the alfalfa, just what I use. And then we've got the catnip. I have a lot of catnip, so I use that as much as I can. Elderflower. Also have elderberries, but I chose flower for this because the berries are really hard to grind down. Then the coltsfoot leaf, which like you can kind of see the texture of that. It is definitely hard to get ground down. This feverfew, however you want to pronounce it, added that in. And then my hibiscus flowers, which I just happen to have a big bag of this. I actually got this from just the witch's box, not the witch's moon box. This came out of the witch's box, which she always sends really big packs of herbs as well, which is awesome because I can use this stuff for so long. So that's pretty much it, guys. You just have your nice little bottle. I will be doing some videos on like rolling candles and how I actually make a candle for my planetary stuff. And really, this is about it. I mean, you use what you have on hand. Like I said, you in no way have to use the stuff that I have. This is just what I had on hand. So that's what I chose to use. And I will be able to use this for quite some time. This will last me months and months and months. It really will, because when you're using the ground herbs and you're sprinkling it in your candle, it goes a long way. Also, you don't have to grind your herbs, but I have sprinkled in whole herbs and it kind of burns funky in your candle. So I really do think it's best to get like an even burn by using a blend that you've ground up, just because you don't want your candle to have a weird burn going on, because then it might not burn correctly, or it will burn so long because it's got a hold of one of these herbs and then it just burns down and is just burning the herb forever. Okay, so you kind of just, it's best to ground them up in my opinion, but once again, to each their own. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.